Hi everyone! Finally a project share that I can show you that I finished and I've been working on for the past few months. Um, these are birthday gifts for Loes and Nadezhda. I'm able to upload the video now because by then the ladies will have received their goodies, which I will bring personally to them on Saturday the 19th. We will all be having again a wonderful day and a crafty meetup. Me, Loes, Nadezhda, Nancy, and Leonie. Really looking forward to that day. And what I've created for these ladies is a rather big project. For each of the ladies, I made a fabric lace book. And to make the base, I used a tutorial by Donnie Holt. She's Donnie H on YouTube. I'll link her channel down below in the description box. But I think you all know this lady by now. She's very talented. Now for Nadezhda's book, I started off with these oval shapes here. They are normally 7 by 5. But if you see the book, you will see that it grew a lot. I used a mixture of vintage antique laces and modern laces, and this is how her book turned out. See the chunkiness of the spine. I will show you first the little addition that I made. For the spine, I crocheted a little 3-layered reverse rose, added a little angel dangle, and then this tiny little purse with a hand crocheted miniature flower on it and a flat back pearls. On the spine I used this lace. The flowers come this way and I tucked them this way on the spine and accented the middle of the flowers with flat back pearls. This is the front. As I said, I started with this shape with felt and hinges in between. Each hinge was about 2 centimeters. It's just shy less than 1 inch. You could say about 7/8 of an inch spine. Some laces were coffee dyed, tea dyed. Some were green tea dyed. Some came the way they were, and some of them are left white. And the images I used, I did ask Nadezhda what her favorite images were, and she said she loved the images from Jules Verne, and so I all used images from him. So mainly are ladies with flowers and roses. And here you see an image which I transferred on fabric. I still use t-shirt transfer because I do love the brighter colors of it. I surrounded the image with this lace, which was originally white, but this was green tea dyed. Accented the center of each flower with a little clay flower. This was cut out of a vintage doily, this butterfly. Give it a bling center. This piece of lace flower. Put the same flower as this one here, but this one, this is the original color. This is the white color, and again, little clay flower. And if we go along, I added the word my friend because Nadezhda is a precious friend of mine. And here is a flower that I built up with several layers. And then this is another piece underneath that came this way and accented the dangling flowers with flat back pearls. And underneath there you see a vintage Battenberg doily, another vintage doily, and there's another doily underneath there. This doily goes all the way around, this big doily, all the way back to front, and this is the back. Another vintage doily with a beautiful bridal applique, and underneath there another layer of a doily. And this is and then at the bottom here you see a dangling vintage piece, and then these vintage appliques. Take them all separately, just dangle them in a way that they would graduate down. And underneath there's another doily. And then we go to the other pages. Now The pages are tied with this satin, this organza ribbon with satin bending, and each of the ends have these flowers and flat back roses. This is my first and second page. Again, layers of several doilies. Image surrounded with this lace, flat back pearls, a cluster of different flowers. These are snippets of leftover lace that I tucked in as leaves. Again, one of the butterflies that I cut out. This time I gave it a flat back pearl center. And the bottom, there's this vintage piece of lace with a building up of doilies and flowers and dangle laces. Bridal applique that from a wedding dress I took apart. You see the dangles, and then here at the bottom more layering of vintage pieces, and I did accent it here, each of the little centers with some bling dots. Another gorgeous piece. I really dug deep into my hoard vault to create these books for the ladies. Another very delicate small piece, and there's another one over here. Next page. Again, same building up of layers and layers of doilies, and this one is a doily that I cut apart and just used the center somewhere else. There's another doily here. There's this flower lace in its original color. There's this beautiful flower. It came this way. These came from eBay. Ordered them somewhere on eBay. This came from this lace you see here. So the frame of the image, the top flower and the bottom flower is all one piece. I just cut out the center of the lace to tuck the image behind, and it created a frame, and then accented it here and there with my small nail art clay flowers. And at the bottom again a layering of several doilies. There's a bow with a little circle cut from somewhere else, flat back pearl. These beautiful blinged up flowers these came from eBay. You see the rest of it, and it originally came actually in white, but this was green tea dyed. And then a vintage piece of Battenberg, more vintage piece of another doily here, and then this beautiful delicate vintage piece here, and then there's another piece, delicate piece right here, and then we go already to the next page. So these are my first two pages. We go to the middle two pages. Again, you will see another layer and building up and tuck in. These are tucked in pieces of vintage Battenberg pieces. Now they came like this, as you see here. Some here and there I left pieces open so you see this one. Or this, I found a bag full on one of my vintage hunts of these. And then layering of doilies. I hand ruffled this lace myself. And then this is again a little piece of dangle vintage lace, and this beautiful sequins trim. I don't have a lot of it, but also it's a vintage. Bought it on one of my vintage hunts. This beautiful flower applique. And then at the bottom one of the butterflies that's been cut off from a doily. And then here underneath I created a flower, and this was actually a trim. But I cut all the petals separately to create a bigger flower underneath this flower. And then there's this layered crochet flower. Some more dangles. And then under there tucked in a leaf with beads. A piece of curtain lace. More of a vintage doily here. This is the second page. Again, building up from different pieces of vintage doilies. There's the trim here that I used, that I cut up. You see, it was a one-piece trim. This is a doily flower that I made. The bridal applique. Again, the beautiful images of, did I say Jules Vernon? It's Emile Vernon. Sorry, it's Emile Vernon. Lady of Emile Vernon, of a lady holding with a basket of flowers. This beautiful trim I won from Lee. She is Victorian Dreams by Lee, and I used it around the image here, and it was just beautiful. I did add the small bling pieces, and I need to glue this one down because it came loose. Then got these beautiful pieces I got once received from Nadezhda. Again, you will see a layering of several doilies. Some are vintage, some are a little bit more newer ones, but there's a lot of vintage pieces in this one. There's a vintage piece here that left over from somewhere. Added 3 bridal applique flowers, and then underneath again a layering of doilies, and doilies, and more doilies, to create a different type of dangle. I saw this on Donnie's channel and I really loved it. In the middle, again, just finished up the middle here with one of these Battenberg pieces and some dangles from a flower that I cut off. And these are my 2 middle pages, my last 2 pages. Again, layering of doilies, Battenberg crochet doilies. These are cut offs from curtain laces. This flower came like this. I think I got this one from eBay as well. Bridal applique here, surrounded the image with some bling, and a doily of which I cut out the center and I stretched to fit around the image, and underneath there another doily, and then again these flower with the bling and the dangles. Hand rolled flower from curtain lace. I put a bling in the middle, and then again in the bottom a layering of several flowers and appliques and doilies. I hope she's gonna like this book. I really put my whole heart in it, in creating this for her. Again here, a layering of doilies and ruffled laces. There's again tucked in a leftover piece of the tea-dyed flowers. A hand crocheted flower by myself. I put another flower in the center and a pearl. These flowers came this way. I really like them. I almost used them up completely, so I'm gonna have to order them again. And then again an image surrounded with this beautiful trim, and I think I got this one from Lily store, and she had Shabalicious. Here and there you will see tucked in pieces of bridal appliques. This is a piece of vintage piece cut somewhere out. And hand crocheted flower again from myself with a flat back pearl. Gave it this beautiful dangle piece, and again a layering of doilies. And I see I need to reglue another little one here. So this is the book I created for Nadezhda. She will get some other gifts, a wall hanging that I've created in the past, small one as extra, and a card. And then okay, and this is the fabric lace book I created for Loes. Again, I started with rectangles with a size of 5 by 7 inches, but as you see it grew again. Originally I've created this book to go inside, but as you see the chunkiness of the book, there was no way I could fit this inside, so it turned out to become a separate little mini book. I hope she's gonna like this one. This is actually a little precious gift, I think, because inside there are pictures of her precious dog that she lost about 2 years ago, her Adin. And then picture of a Karen dog, a little adorable sweet Queebus, which I had the pleasure to meet and to play with already several times. And on the front an image of a girl with a vintage dog, with a dog, and these are vintage images, and this is how heavenlies used to look like in the old days, but they changed throughout the years. I kept the mini book quite simple, and still it turned out to be rather chunky. Started out again with felt hinges, and on top of that I layered this, you can hardly see here, but a piece of a vintage lace doily in a brown color. On top of that I added this little vintage lace here, and then this was actually a leftover piece of dangle lace, but I cut off the dangles and I just used the round piece left over that you see here, and then surrounded the image with this beautiful little looped lace. On top here a little small flower cut off from somewhere, a pleat, leaves. At the bottom you see this was actually a larger piece of flower lace, which has been cut up and spread all over the book. And on top of the base flower of it, you see here, I created I layered several small doilies to create this flower, and then added these leaves with flat back pearls, and on the bottom again the vintage lace, and then a leftover of this lace. And here you see more of the lace better, as that I tucked over the spine, let it go left and right. Covered the back with a small knitted doily, and again spread this applique all over the book, and accented all of the flower centers with flat back pearls. As I said, I did keep it quite simple. Again, the same the lace organza binding. And here are the pictures of our precious Adin. And again, kept the decoration quite simple, layering of some laces. And I did accented the bottom laces here, all with teeny tiny flat back pearls. This lace, I think I had this one from Lily's store as well. And then surrounded the images, both images are actually more or less mirror images, mirrored, same. This flower lace, and each of the flowers were accented with a little piece of bling. On top, this lace here. Don't remember where I got this one, but I'm sure I have this one from this one, I think it's from Lily's store, and this was from one of my vintage hunt. And this is how the two pages look like with the picture of Adin. And this is picture of a current dog here, Queebus, as he was a puppy. And here is Queebus now more as an adult dog. And again, surrounded the image with mirrored pages, cut them quite the same, with Chinese braid. On this I did put some bridal appliques from a wedding dress I took apart. And this corner from the same wedding dress, these little applique flowers. Again, on top here some vintage lace, some smaller lace here. On top of there I added the flower lace, which I think came from Lily's store as well, and did bling it up all the flower centers with these little bling pieces. And at the bottom there's this lace, flower lace here, another piece of lace here, and then this vintage piece of lace here. And that's the little mini book I created. And then this is then the large book, which has the same image but then larger, and it was printed with a different printer. This one was printed actually with my brother, as you see, a printer more of a yellowish sepia color, and this one is printed with my new Canon Pixma printer, and it really gives a more beautiful vintage look. So this is the main book. Again, for Loes, I also created a little hand crocheted dangle by myself on the reversed rose with an angel dangle, added a little heart with a lace flower, a bling, and then added this dangle with her name, Loes, and made this tassel myself. And on the spine you see here there's one large piece of lace here, and then I added these flowers and glued these flowers separately on top of this one, and then added on the flower centers these beautiful resin flowers. And then the front, again, a layering of laces and trims. The base was covered with this lace here, with a piece of lace, and then with these doilies. In the back you will see with a vintage doily with these smaller doilies, and then you already have a glimpse of the back here. Lace, 2 layers of this lace offset piece of lace here, and I don't know where I got this one, but it was a small piece, so I guess it was gifted to me in one of my swaps by someone, but I'm sorry, I don't remember who. It could be that it was in one of my design team packages as well, but it was just perfect. It fitted just on top of the book. That accented it here with the small clay flowers, and the back here a bridal applique, finished the side off with some Chinese braid, and then here a layering of these dangle laces, and at the bottom also several layers of dangle laces here, and it accented the flowers here with flat back pearls. And the front the same. The image, it has 3 layers actually, 2 layers of this offset to make it a more fuller, and then this piece of tiny vintage lace with flat back pearls. On the corner here, this lace that came this way, the leaves with some bling in the middle, and at the top a lace that came this way. This I think I got this one from somewhere off eBay. I did accented the flowers here with some little tiny clay flowers, and again you will see the layering of laces, and these are already on the next page here, and did put some small clay flowers on the front pieces here of the dangle pieces, and finished off this way the organza binding with these tassels. And I'm sorry for the glue strings. I did glue my heat tool over it, but it didn't got them all away. And again you see it turned out really chunky. I'm quite happy how both fabric books turned out. I hope the ladies will love them as their gift. First page, again, a girl with a dog, because that was her theme that she liked, vintage images of girls and ladies with dogs. Made this doily flower, added this bridal applique in the middle, created these rosette tuck-ins with the rosette flowers, cut them in half, rolled them up, and put these stamens in the middle. Here there's a layering of 1, 2, 3, and 4 different laces, and then around the image there's this ruffled lace which have been avocado dyed, and then this lace flower here again with the blingy stuff, and then there's this applique flower underneath there. And at the bottom a layering of several dangle laces, and this layer was used and this layer has at the bottom tiny bling pieces, and there are some clay flowers. In the middle of the spine a vintage piece of lace, as well as this piece here is vintage. Then on the top also these beautiful flat back pearls, actually top and bottom. Oh, I'm hoping I'm not going everywhere with my book. I'm really not so good in filming these. I'm gonna try and add some still pictures as well. It is tall, became bigger than planned, so let's see if this way is better. Again, a layering of several laces by the side. Sometimes I used twice the same lace, but I offset it to give it a full effect. All the images were surrounded by ruffled lace or laces. Here there's bling trim, there's bridal appliques here, there's a dangle flower here, beautiful large applique here, and then that's layered on another applique flower here, and these belong to the applique flowers at the bottom. And again you see a layering of laces, and this flower come with the dangles like this. Next page is this girl. The pages are mainly white, creams, off-whites, here and there with some small touches of pink, if there was pink in the image. Again here on top a layering of several laces, again here twice the same but offset, and on the side here this lace twice offset. Then there's this flower dangle lace, and there's this broderie anglaise, which I ruffled myself up because I don't have a lot of ruffled laces, and you see the lace of the other page. Sorry, we ran out of battery. So we'll continue with this page. Butterfly here from a doily. I cut out bridal appliques image surrounded with this soft pink lace, and put again bling in the flower centers. Created these beaded leaves myself, tucked them underneath this flower. Here a hand crocheted layered flower for myself, and then there's a layering of several doily flowers underneath. Gave it a dangle piece here, and there's a vintage doily here. You will notice a little bit of the staining there. And then again down here, actually on every page of the book you will see this lace with a tiny bling at the bottom, and underneath there's this lace here. This page, a lady with a puppy dog. On top again the layering of the same laces as the other pages, so I'm not going too much in detail on that page here. You will see it's actually the mirror of the other page. This image was surrounded with this little lace with the pink edging, and then there's these teardrop pearls. I'm just seeing this one is loose. I'm just gonna tuck a little bit of glue right there. There. And on top again, I used here this shabby rosette flower. On top a piece of applique flower, pieces of another cut out from the center of another doily, this tiny crochet doily center bling piece. I gave it 2 leaves which were green tea dyed. I forgot to mention the center, there's this vintage lace, and on the centers I put these resin flowers. And at the bottom here I did add some larger flat back pearl in a pink and a very soft purplish color, but it still matches the image as well. and here on the corner an applique bow with 3 tiny clay flowers, and just there also 3 tiny bling pieces. Underneath here you see it. I tucked also a leftover piece of a Battenberg doily, and this is how both pages look. The next 2 pages, here is a layering on top again over the whole page, offset these 2, and then added this beautiful lace here, which I once bought from Lily's store. And this image of a girl with a dog was surrounded again with cut-offs of a dangle lace. Put that around the image. Added this applique flower here. Here is a avocado dyed flower. Added this a doily, vintage doily, and this dangle flower down here. And down at the bottom you also see this chain, beautiful chain lace, which came from Lily's store. And I fitted just a little piece here, and I cut these loose from the side so they created a nice dangly effect, and then kept here the bows in the middle. Again, underneath there's this dangling lace here, and these dangle laces here with the leaves, which are again with the tiny bling and the ends. And here you will see this lace here, and then layered on top a second layer of the same lace but offset it. And then I added these beautiful flowers which came from Flare by Me. I'm gonna quickly glue this down again. There. And then the last page, there's this layering of laces here, vintage modern eyelet lace. There's a piece of this lace in the original color. On top here I created a cluster, and this is a hand crocheted flower with a beautiful cotton with some gold thread in it. Put a bling flat back in the middle. This is a trio of leaves of lace, came like this with the flower, and I tucked it in a way like it was like a tuck flower on the side of the crochet flower. Added one more leaf here, and then on the other side of the image bridal appliques, and then again the vintage lace in the middle, and then the dangle at the bottom. And I did show you the back already. And this is the book Loes get. Now you will see these books do grow, even though I started just with a moderate size of 5 by 7. They do turn a lot larger. So Loes Nadezhda, I hope you will appreciate and like this gift that I created for you, ladies. Let me know what you think of these fabric books, ladies. They took me a while to make, but I'm quite happy how they turned out. I'm not an expert in making these, not at all. Not as much talent as of many other of you who are making these. But it's created with lots of love. So here they are. I hope they show well. And thank you all for watching and commenting and your continued support. Bye.